We're live.
All right, everybody, welcome to the first ever episode of The Bird's Nest. I am Drew Golden, and I'm here with my partner, Michael Byrock, and we are very excited to get this started with you guys.
Episode 1. This has been in the making for a long time, and we're very excited to get this opportunity. Just had to get something out on the road, and we're very excited to talk some sports with you guys today, and probably for the rest of our lives, because what else are we going to do? You know, love talking sports, so
Yeah.
might as well put it out there for you guys.
I mean, we like our regular conversations are at home or just talking sports anyway, so you know.
I mean, just a couple guys shooting the shit for days on end.
Yeah.
So might as well get some. We'll give you all of our stuff in one sitting right now today. But before we get into everything with like college football, so we're going to start off and kick off with, got to give a big shout out to the boys in our hometown of Westwood, New Jersey.
Huge shout out.
The boys in red, the Cardinals, they got it done this week. State championship. That's the first one that they've got, right, for that kind, because they just changed it back.
Yeah, it's the second year the full group championship. So, I mean, we're super proud of our boys, RJ Usher, Aiden Carazana. Hometown boys.
They don't show love to the alums when they win that, though. They don't show love to the alums that suffered through the only bad seasons that Westwood football seems to have had since the 2000s. But that's huge. Shout out us. Shout out Aiden, Klein, all the boys, Carthage, all you guys. Great job getting it done.
Carthage, absolute dog. Klein, dog.
And Bobby Guy, man. First season as head coach.
We're this all wrong.
First season as head coach. I love that, man. I love that.
It was unbelievable. Unbelievable. Yeah. Proud alumni.
Definitely proud alumni. And we got if anyone knows, we got a North Jersey Player of the Week here on our podcast, Drew Golden, who represented Westwood High School very well. Unlike myself.
Yeah.
I'm just the guy that talks the sports, not plays them.
That's the past now. I transferred over to the bad side. I mean the good side.
Well, yeah. You know, you take it. You take it for what it is. Should we talk some college football?
Right. Yeah, so first we're going to start off with our college football conference championship weekend. I mean, obviously we know the playoffs going to come down to this weekend and Selection Sundays this Sunday, so all these games are going to have major impact on what's going to happen.
Yeah, conference championships. This gets interesting. This year for sure. And we'll start it off with what do you want to start with, the Big 12?
We can do the Big 12 first.
Do you have what else were we gonna? Oh, you want to say Pac-12, Big 10, and start Big 12? Go.
I would say we could say the SEC and the Big 10 for the last.
Okay.
Just because they're the two biggest ones.
So Big 12, ACC, then Pac-12, and then.
Works for me.
Whatever. All right. Well, first game, Oklahoma State, Texas, 18-7, 15.5 point spread. Your thoughts? Opening thoughts.
Yep. AT&T Stadium. Saturday at 12, Texas 13.5. I mean, Oklahoma State, they're the reigning champs. But after watching a lot of film, I think Texas takes this one pretty easily. I just don't think Oklahoma State is going to – I mean, they'll put up a fight for 3 quarters. It's just that Texas is they're just better.
Ollie Gordon, though, he's a tough guy to contain, man. He is a guy that, he'll give you the fits if he gets the chance.
That's a key. That's really what's going to come down to it.
That's a key in this game. I don't trust Bowman as much as I think that he should be trusted in a game like this. This is something I think he can really handle. If they can get ahead early, I don't see Oklahoma State being easy to put away for Texas, though.
No, I don't think so either. I think this is going to be a full 4-quarter game. It's just Texas, they're just better. That's really it. They're better. I mean, the Quinn Ewers, Adonai Mitchell connection is lethal. They've been doing it all year. And Texas has their big win against Alabama in Tuscaloosa. People can't forget about that.
Yeah, that's
a hard place to go in the win. And by double digits. It's not easy.
Yeah, Oklahoma State, they definitely have it cut out for them this week. And if their defense is going to give them the stops early and they give Texas some momentum, I think if Texas can put up 21 points before halftime, I don't think that Oklahoma State has the passing attack to keep up with this Texas team. I really don't.
I agree. If Texas could contain Ollie Gordon, I mean, I think they'll pretty much run away with it. But, I mean, this game, just like as the others, it's going to be a huge college football playoff implication game. I mean, if Texas wins, it's going to be hard not to put a Big 12 champion in. But if they lose, it's going to make the committee have a little bit of an easier decision.
It's it's almost like Texas, for them to want to make an actual statement and actually want to compete and get into the college football play, it seems like they're going to have to like really show something here on the national stage because it's tough for
Yeah,
them. Even if Bama,
it is.
if Bama knocks off Georgia, like I don't know, like there's a lot going on there, and if Georgia wins, it's still a lot for Texas.
Yeah, exactly. If Texas blows this team out, then that's a big statement going into Sunday, and the committee has to take that into a factor.
But the loss to Oklahoma.
That's it too.
It's the loss to Oklahoma with
It's
Oklahoma State beating Oklahoma. Now you got the triangle there. It's like that
exactly.
hurts Texas as much as people don't want to look at that.
It
That
does.
definitely is going to
It
hurt
does.
Texas when they're
Yep.
looked at in the conversations. If they're gonna win this, if they're gonna make a shot for the college football playoff, I think they have to win this game by 21, and they have to hold the lead the entire game pretty much.
Easily, easily. All right. So, do you have a score prediction?
Uh, I'm gonna go Texas 35, Oklahoma State 10. I don't think it's close.
I took Texas 24, Oklahoma State 14.
I like
Bixby,
I like Ollie Gordon to score the first touchdown, and then that's about all she wrote for Oklahoma State.
yeah, well coached team. They play hard. It's just this is one of Texas's better years, and I mean we'll see on Saturday at 12.
Yeah, I like Texas with the 15.5. I had to pick a side personally. That's just where I stand on it. If you have any other comments on the game, I really don't have anything left. I think Texas blows them out.
Neither do I.
Yep.
Me too. I think Texas doesn't control their own legacy, but they could definitely help it.
Big 12 championship in their last year in the Big 12. Got a lot to hang your head on. You got a lot going into next year. If you're Texas, you got a big SEC schedule coming up next year, but you got some momentum moving forward. You won the division or won the conference that you should have been probably dominating over these last couple of decades, or even.
Yeah.
Oklahoma's been that team to beat, and yeah, I'm excited to see them in the SEC. Though, I mean, I don't know if you want to just touch on that right before we switch.
I mean, yeah, we can. I mean, Texas and Oklahoma, they're both big time schools, so they're both going to get the recruits. And
Always.
I think the SEC can only help them, and the boosters are only going to help them too when it comes to NIL.
NIL is huge, bro. That's a little out of the hand. We'll move on.
Yeah, that's a conversation for another day.
That's more off season. We'll talk NIL. All right, we'll go into the ACC.
Works for me.
Big game.
Florida State. So for the ACC, we have number 4 Florida State against number 14 Louisville in Bank of America Stadium at 8 p.m. on Saturday night. The Seminoles open up as 2.5-point favorites. It's
no
low.
Jordan Travis.
It's
no
low.
Jordan Travis.
No Jordan Travis though. But both teams are not playing their best football coming into this game.
Not at all. And that's what makes this game really interesting to me is that
it does.
You got a Florida State team that in the recent rankings they put them at 4. I think it was a slight to them by putting Washington at the 3 over them. I think that right there showed college football playoff like we don't really want Florida State in here. Like if we can get someone else, they probably will replace them.
I've been saying it for about a couple weeks now. If Florida State goes undefeated, they still have a very good chance of not making the playoffs.
It's unfortunate, but the Travis injury, as much as you don't want to look at it as like Jordan Travis going down, like doesn't affect anything because like it's just an injury. Like it does matter if they're gonna go out there and play Georgia. Like say Georgia's the one. I mean that's a stinker right there. So the line here is interesting to me with the 2.5.
Plus the ACC hasn't been competitive.
Oh no, the ACC's been whack.
That's gonna hurt. Yeah, and that's going to hurt them when it comes down to like their resume because their strength of schedule just isn't strong. Yeah, their LSU win in the beginning of the season's good, but like LSU's a 9-3 team.
LSU's what in the SEC? Like
it was
the 4th team, something like that.
Yeah, exactly. And they played Jaden Daniels in the first week, before he really started to blow up. So, I mean, look, Florida State, they have playmakers. I think Keon Coleman is one of the best receivers in college football right now. I love him when it comes to the NFL draft. I mean, we're not talking draft right now, but I think he's going to be a good 50-50 guy when it comes up to it in the NFL. And, I mean, Louisville's just coming off a terrible loss, one they just couldn't have.
Louisville is they're a team that it's like if they show up on Saturday, they're going to give Florida State the issues. They can run the ball. They can run the ball, that Louisville team. And if they can, it's kind of like Oklahoma State, but a little bit less because with Louisville, they're going up against the Florida State defense that has been dominating the ACC. Like this is the best unit in the ACC for sure, and this is the side of the
Easily.
ball that Florida State wants to show. This is why we're in the college football playoff. We're in here because of our defense, not our offense. So our quarterback going down isn't going to be the biggest problem in the world for us.
Exactly.
Now, this game. I don't see Florida State losing. Like I don't see them losing.
I can't see it either. Honestly, like Tate Roadmaker it's his second week starting, so he's been playing, he's been practicing. He's gonna know the system a lot better than he did against Florida. I thought they should have lost that Florida game. I think Florida threw that one away.
They look bad, man.
But they did not look good.
That Florida State defense will step up for them. I want to go into a score prediction if you want to, right here, real quick.
Yeah, I'm ready.
I like Florida State to win this game. I think this is going to be a snooze fest, honestly. I don't see it. I think Florida State's going to want to play the field position because, like, what else are you going to, like, you're not going to sling the ball all over the field, obviously. I think that this game's low scoring. I think it's 20-14, Florida State.
I have 24-10, Florida State. I mean, I just wish Louisville didn't lose to Kentucky because this game would have been so much better.
Yeah.
It would have been so much better.
It's a shame.
But I mean, we'll see what Jack Plummer could do leading that Cardinal offense.
I mean, there's still a lot at stake for the Seminoles here. I mean,
huge.
There's a lot at stake here. You win this game, it's hard to get you out of there as an undefeated conference champ, as much as the quarterback and everything. That's a tough discussion. And if they blow
this Louisville team out, the committee has to look at that and be like, all right, they're ready to go. They earned that 4-3 seed. So, I mean, we'll see. Again, a lot of this it depends on all these other games because this playoff field is just so deep this year.
It is. It's never been this deep for a 4-team playoff at this stage of the season. I feel like it's been almost pretty much like set until like conference champions until this point. And this year it's been out of control.
Yeah, I mean, there's 8 teams. There's 8 teams competing for 4.
Yeah, basically. That's crazy.
And I was telling you the other night when I was watching the rankings revealing show, even the analysts didn't know what there was going on. Like they all had their own opinions. That's Friday night into Saturday is going to be a great 2 days of college football.
It is going to be a weekend to remember for sure in college football. And that this Florida State game is at 8:00. This is the last game. So this is like Florida State's, the Big Ten championship's not going to have an effect on Florida State here. It's not. And they're going to know they're going to pretty much know what they're playing for at that point. Like they're going to know.
Exactly.
So there's going to be pressure. It's going to be a night game at Bank of America Stadium. I think it's going to be a great atmosphere. Honestly, I'm excited for this one.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
Yeah.
All right.
Where
do you want to move on to now?
We'll get to Pac-12.
We're on the Pac-12. I'm super excited about this game.
This is a good one. This is the one I've been diving into for sure. You want me to? I'm going to start you off with something right here. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Spread's 9.5. You want to hear something extremely interesting? So the last time that they played, remember last time Washington and Oregon played, it was a one possession game. Since then, every single game that Washington has played has been within one possession. Every single one.
Yes,
Oregon, on the other hand, every single game has been over 10 points. So I find it interesting that this line's 9.5. I feel like that shows something about what the recent weeks have shown for these two teams and these two programs.
Yep. I mean, Oregon this season is winning by an average of 32 points per game.
Yeah.
Like they're blowing teams out. They score the second most points in college football. They average the second most total yards. They're first in passing yards, and they're even 24th in rushing yards. So this offense is just explosive. But that's what we could expect out of these Pac-12 offenses. And Pac-12 just doesn't play the kind of defense.
And they don't. But what's interesting about Oregon is that their pressure numbers are closer to top in the country, and with their they don't give up a lot of rushing touchdowns and yards on the ground. So Penix is going to have to show up in this one for sure. And the Washington offense, they're there. They're there. That unit is there. They got the guys.
Yeah.
But we've
I mean,
seen
Roma
him.
Dunsies.
We've seen him disappear though. That Washington. We've seen him go away for a couple of drives here and there, and that can't happen.
I mean,
that can't happen in a game like this.
In that Washington State game last week, Penix almost threw 2 picks in that last drive, and they didn't deserve to win that game.
They didn't.
Kicker made a great kick to win it, but Washington's not playing their best football right now, and Oregon is playing their best football right now. And that's what I think would be a huge difference in this. But it's 2 Heisman candidate quarterbacks, so we'll see.
Something about Bo Nix, though, man. He's on a tear. He seems like a guy you don't want to get in his way right now.
He's throwing like 5 touchdowns a game after that Washington game. Like, something just clicked in him.
There's something happened after that Washington game for sure where Oregon wasn't messing around for. I feel like they seemed like they felt like they wanted to win that game and that they needed to win that game, and they're going to get their chance this time around to maybe even sneak back into the playoff picture, and I think that if they win, they will. So they're definitely going to be out for blood this week. I think this is my game of the week here.
Yeah.
Despite the spread, despite the 9.5 spread.
Yeah. I never thought I would say this, but the Pac-12 winner is almost guaranteed a playoff spot.
Yeah.
And that's probably the first time anybody has said that in the playoff
ever.
era.
Ever.
Ever. The Pac-12 was good this year, and I was surprised.
It really comes down to quarterback play.
It does. Do I think this is going to transition to the Big Ten? Absolutely not.
No
shot.
This is honestly a Cinderella year for the Pac-12. They go out in their last year. They get a great season out of it. Don't get me wrong. Great season. Mm-hmm. Oregon State had a great year. USC, they're fun to watch. Washington, Oregon. That's a conference that they showed some things this year, man, and that's a shame to see them go. But I got to pick.
Rest in peace, Pac-12 after dark.
Yeah, no, Pac-12 after dark. You hate to see that go. And that new Big Ten graphic's going to be fat now, too, so.
Yeah.
And have that California beach.
All right. Yep. All right, I'm going to give you my pick.
Go into it.
I'm taking Oregon 63-60 in a shootout.
Oh, my God.
I'm putting I think it's big, but I think it's going to be a shootout, and Oregon's going to come out with it.
Who's the difference maker? Who wins it for him? Who wins it for Oregon?
Bo Nix.
Bo Nix?
Bo Nix. This game could put him in front of the Heisman conversation. Game means a lot.
Bo Nix is gonna have to put his head. He's gonna lock in, get them Oregon Ducks to the college football playoff. I have a surprising pick though. I'm taking Washington.
Mm-hmm.
I'm taking Washington.
All right.
And I'm taking Washington for the sole reason that Michael Penix is going to show up. And I think that last week against Washington State, it's a rivalry and everything, so that plays an effect. I also think Washington was looking forward to Oregon. I think they were looking at Oregon during the last 2 weeks they've been prepping. They've been bad lately. That defense for Washington is what scares me, really, because they really have fits in the run game. And if you're not going to stop the run, you're definitely not going to stop Bo Nix in this offense. But I'm going to take them to win a shootout, 48-45 on a game winner.
Yeah. If Oregon can run the ball, it's going to open up Bo Nix to throw the ball, and that's where Washington can be fucked.
Washington, if Bo Nix is blazing out the gate, they have no chance. Honestly, Washington does not have a chance because they might not get a stop in the first half if Bo Nix is really going to, this game could never end. They could never end.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I have in my notes, what team will get that one stop? That will change the game.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a turnover or something.
It's going to come down to, it's going to be a fumble, a pick. It's going to be something, and one defense is going to have to step up and make it. And I'm just super, super excited. Love how it's on a Friday night, too. It's the only game that night.
Isn't that a casual fan's dream, man? Friday night and just a shit ton of points being scored.
Oh, nothing's better.
Nothing better than that.
Nothing's better.
As I've watched football, you show some appreciation for those low-scoring, dirty, grimy games. But how can you hate 2 college kids just slinging the ball around the yard all night on a Friday night? That's gonna be an electric game for sure. But I like Washington. You like Oregon. I'm excited to see that one play out. I'm
Me
excited.
too. Yeah, I'm a Big Ten guy, so I do like the little bit defense grittiness, but I mean, every once in a while you gotta switch up.
Yeah, no, the Pac-12
You
gives you
you gotta
that.
love the fun.
They give you
You
those
gotta love the
fireworks,
fun.
man. They give you those fireworks.
Yeah.
Friday night, it's 10:30, and I'm just watching Michael Penix and Bo Nix sling touchdowns back and forth late in the third quarter. How does it get better than that, man? How does it get better than that?
Nothing. Nothing.
All right, should we go
All right.
SEC?
S
SEC.
Let's go SEC.
Georgia,
This
Bama.
is going to be Georgia Bama, Mercedes-Benz Stadium, 4 p.m.
It's a good one.
Georgia opens up as 6.5-point favorites. This is probably the most. How could I say this? How can I word this? This game will decide half the playoff.
This game is the this is the black hole. This is gonna suck. Everything revolves around this game because no winner of this game is going to affect literally every single team that is in the college football playoff hunt as of now. Every single one of them.
Yep. Easy to go. I have a question for you.
Yes.
Does the SEC have a chance to not have anybody in the playoffs?
No chance. I think that even if Bama wins, which is the only way that nobody makes it, you still you drop Florida State before you take Georgia out. In my opinion, you drop Florida State before you take Georgia out for sure.
So you're saying if Bama wins, you think Georgia will still make it?
If Bama wins, I think Georgia is still going to make the playoff. Yes, I do think that.
I can see it happening. I mean, it depends what happens in that Florida State game. If they blow out Louisville, then maybe not. But if they don't, then maybe. It depends.
You also got to think about but think about this is with Alabama. If Bama wins this game and Texas blows out Oklahoma State, how does that affect Bama? Because technically, that's got to help Bama, right?
I disagree. No, Texas has the head-to-head. Texas has the head-to-head, and that's what it.
So you would put Texas? You would think you would put Texas in over Bama even if they win this game?
I think whoever wins this game is definitely in the playoffs.
That's not a question. Whoever wins
the SEC winner, every single year, the SEC winner and the Big Ten winner is obviously going to make the playoffs because they're the best two conferences. They play the best football. I just think it's going to come down to seeding when it comes to Bama, Texas. Like, who are you going to put above who? Like, you're putting a SEC winner above a Big 12 winner makes sense, but the Big 12 winner has the head-to-head. So I'm curious to see how the committee is going to handle that.
Go into the actual game now. I want to talk about these two quarterbacks. This is a very interesting tale of the tape here with Carson Beck and Jalen Milroe. Carson Beck, he's good, man. He's pinpoint. He is pinpoint. He could give your defense. He
throws a pretty ball,
man. And with those weapons,
it also helps. That's what I'm saying. I was about to say that. It also helps that he's throwing to Georgia wide receivers and Brock Bowers.
He's
not even a conversation.
But Milroe, you know what Milroe can do with his legs. It's like he's a whole nother threat in the run game with McClellan or everybody. That's a backfield in itself that Georgia has to account for. You have to account for Milroe the running back and Milroe the passer because he runs that much and he runs that good.
I mean, when you watch the Auburn game, that first quarter, they didn't really have a spy on him, and he was taking off every chance again. He's getting 7 to 12 yards. He's fast. And they put a spy on him, kind of slowed him down, but
you can't. You can't slow him down. You can try. You can try to contain him, but he'll hurt you with the arm too. He'll hurt you with that. And they got Bond, and Bond makes plays too. This is going to be a game with a lot of guys who are going to be able to make plays and are going to have to make plays if you want to win in Atlanta this weekend.
Yeah, easily 2 of the top 5 teams in the country. It's no question. No question at all.
That Georgia defense is not that Georgia defense it was the year before. It's not the Georgia defense it was the year before that. They will give up points. Alabama is going to be able to move the ball. The red zone is the key to me in this game because of the way that these defenses are. The defenses in the SEC are always, they're always good. But these Alabama and Georgia defenses, they're known for being like these defenses. Yeah. And they really haven't been that this year. They really haven't.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Bama, they have 2 first-round picks. Kool-Aid McKinstry, Dallas Turner off the edge. That could be a huge factor. I mean, they're probably both going to be first-team All-Americans. Kool-Aid McKinstry is most likely going to be the first corner off the board. I that that could help Bama out. I mean, Georgia, they rank 8th in scoring offense. Like, they average 39.6 points per game. Bama's 17th with 35.8. I mean, it could be a shootout. It could not be. I mean, I'm very curious to see what Saban and Kirby Smart are going to cook up.
You want to hear my hot take for this game?
It.
Jalen Milroe will have 125 yards on the ground, and he will throw for 300, and he will score 3 touchdowns, passing and rushing. He will score 3 touchdowns in this game.
So, are you hinting towards an Alabama win?
I am not, though. I am still taking Georgia. In a close one.
Taking Georgia?
In a close one, but I'm still taking Georgia. I think Milroe is going to really show out. He's really going to show what he could do. After the game against Auburn, he screamed, "You might as well give that Heisman. You might give that motherfucker to me." Talking about the Heisman, and I mean,
I was about to say, yeah.
He just beat Auburn. I mean, that's not that impressive, but he's about to go out there, and I think he's ready. I think he's blossomed. I think he's got the Saban offense down. He knows what is being asked of him, and he's expanding on that. College football. People are quick, man. They're quick to let these quarterbacks go. And Milroe, he's been up and down. He's definitely been up and down. But recently, late in the season, he's got it. They got to gel in the offense. He's finding Bond. He's using his legs. He's scoring those red zone touchdowns. He is a monster in the red zone, man. He's like an extra player on the field. He's like an extra player on the field in the red zone. It's unbelievable. Yeah.
And especially after that Auburn game, the confidence levels have to be off the charts.
Yeah, they snuck out of that one, but they still got it.
Yeah, they might have snuck out of it, but at the same time, it's still the Iron Bowl. So you knew
Auburn was going to play tough. You knew Auburn was going to give it their all that game.
And it was at Auburn. It was at Auburn too, and that atmosphere looked sick.
Yeah, but they did just sneak out. They just snuck through on that one.
Yep.
For sure.
So I'm going to throw a little curveball. I'm going to take Alabama 31-28.
Wow, I like Georgia. I don't know if I think that many points will be scored though. I'm going to take 24-20. I think
that's fair. Look, I still think Georgia is going to be a top 4 team in the country. It's going to be hard to leave them out of the playoffs. Again, we have to go back to that ACC game because if Florida State gets the job done, and Bama wins, Georgia might not get in.
Georgia is not safe at all. They are not safe. I think they're safe, but there is a very good chance that things end up the way I don't think they're going to end up, and they are not.
Mm-hmm. Does that mean that they're not a top 4 team in the country? No, I think they absolutely are. Just when it comes down to resume, the committee's going to have a headache. They're going to have a headache.
They're going to be scratching their heads all weekend, and I would be doing the same thing. I have no idea who's deserving of what. Because the thing is, with the college football playoffs, is the team that's 5, you're just as good as the team that's 10. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to say. I hate to say that, but when you're playing for the college football playoff, the 4 teams that get in are the 4 teams that get in, and that's it. Exactly. After that, I don't remember who was 5 last year or the year before that. I only remember the top 4 every year. There's a reason for that.
Yep. And next year, when it goes to 12 teams, we won't have this issue, but the playoffs will be exciting.
Yeah, we'll get to be arguing about Kansas State getting in instead.
Exactly. We'll get to that when the time comes.
Yeah, no, that's enough of this game. Honestly, I don't have anything else to say unless you have anything you want to add onto this one.
I'm all good.
That'll be a good one though. That's at 4. Yep. So.
Yep. Coming down to my conference, the Big Ten.
Here we go.
It's going to be an absolute blowout by the Wolverines. It's going to be
my God. I don't even want to talk about Iowa because of how many headaches they give me watching them play football, man.
Did you see what that first half line was for Iowa?
0.5.
0.5.
To score a point in either half.
I'll give you my prediction right now. I have Michigan 42-0. I don't think they score a single point. I think they get under 60 yards of total offense.
Really?
I mean, dude, I was at the Penn State Iowa game. we blanked them 33-31 nothing. I think they had 5 turnovers and under 70 yards of offense.
They're not. They're
And
not there on offense. The offensive
they have
side of
no
the ball.
chance.
They're not there. Michigan is there's is Harbaugh in the coaching?
He is
This game he's
allowed to
back,
coach.
right? Yeah, this is a blowout. I'll give you my score prediction too if you want. It is a
Yeah.
56 Michigan, 3 Iowa. I think Harbaugh being.
Nah, you give him some points.
I think they're gonna score 3. I think they're gonna score 3 because I saw that line and I was like, if Harbaugh is back now, right? I think he wants to make a statement in this Big Ten. Like they're gonna win this game, right? They're gonna win this game.
Yeah.
I think they want to make a statement. I think they're gonna blow them out, and I think that the seniors are gonna come in, and I think that Iowa can kick a field goal when they're down by 56. Be like, you know what? We'll score some points today.
Okay. And don't forget, Cade McNamara's been out since I think the Penn State game, so their starting quarterback hasn't played.
Yeah, no,
They
have nothing. This whole Big Ten championship game. I hate the idea of it. I hate it. I think that the best 2 teams should just play each other. I don't understand why Iowa has to play Michigan or Ohio State and lose every year.
Well, we'll see it in 2024 because no more divisions next year.
Yeah, I guess, but like it's been Big Ten championship. It's been a joke every year. It's been a joke every year, and it'll be a joke this year.
That's what makes the Big Ten East such a competitive division, because if you win that division, you're basically winning the conference.
Yeah, that half,
or you should basically win the conference.
That half, like that side of that conference side of the division of the conference, I guess. It's a 3-team race. It's a 3-team race, and
it is every year.
And when Penn State plays Ohio State, it's like, all right, the loser of this game's probably done, and then whichever then plays Michigan, or vice versa, whatever. Winner of that game, that's basically the Big Ten championship. That Michigan-Ohio State game, it was the Big Ten championship. Because Iowa, I swear to God, if Iowa wins this game, if Iowa wins this football game, I will actually drive. I will drive to Des Moines myself. I will drive to Des Moines myself. I will wear an Iowa Hawkeyes jersey. I'll get Tight End University tattooed in my lip. I swear to God. I'll get it. I swear to God. If Iowa wins this game, I will get Tight End University tattooed on me. I swear to God.
Dude, the university might literally burn down.
If they win this game,
they're not even going to make the playoffs. They're not going to make the playoffs.
No, if they win this game,
it'll just burn down. Just because they beat Michigan.
If they win this game, does Iowa jump 13 spots to the 4 seed?
No shot.
No shot. You just put Michigan in at the 4 at that point.
No, dude. If Iowa beats Michigan, Michigan does not deserve to be playoffs.
But you can't put Ohio State in. Maybe that's how Texas gets in.
Maybe that makes Florida State safe. Maybe that. I mean, that game obviously does help out Ohio State. We'll get into Ohio State when we get really down into our college football playoff talk. But I mean, Ohio State, there's a tiny chance. There's a very tiny chance.
Hey, they're not in the casket yet, man. They're not in there. The grave has been dug. The grave is Michigan just dug that shit. But
yeah.
And they're laying in it low key, and like people are putting flowers next to them and all that bullshit. You know, you're saying goodbye to.
There's no dirt on top yet. There's no dirt on top.
There's no dirt though. There's no dirt yet. You know, they got one last gas. Maybe if they could open their eyes right before the, you know.
Exactly. Yeah, but the guy in the excavator is ready with all the dirt. Just to.
Oh my God, he's like, please, bro. He's like, please, bro. Let me just bury this right now.
Just do it.
I gotta go home, bro. Yeah. No, fuck that. Fuck the Big Ten. Fuck the Big Ten championship. It sucks every year.
No, I mean I agree. Penn State hasn't made it in 6 years. So
when Penn State gets back in it, then the Big Ten will be finally restored. They'll be restored again.
And I will be in Indianapolis for that game, and it will be an electric weekend.
And you get to watch them. And you get to watch them lose front row. So to Iowa probably.
Hey. I mean, dude, next year it's gonna be the same 3 teams. It's just 2 of them will play. Like we could have back-to-back weeks of the game. Like as a Penn State fan, that fucking hurts. As a college football fan, that's exciting.
I wanna say my unless you got anything else on this Big Ten.
I'm good.
I know you love your Big Ten football.
I love Big Ten football.
Love that. Don't you just love watching Indiana, Illinois? Nice little 14-17 game on a Saturday at 12. Love that, man.
I honestly couldn't imagine being a fan of those teams because I would literally pick every single hair out of my head and then drown myself so I wanted to watch it every week.
Yeah, why don't you spend an afternoon with
It's
my dad, the Indiana Hoosiers fan, and you talk to him about Indiana Hoosiers football? Hey, they beat Penn State,
I
though.
don't
They beat Penn State that one year.
2019
Yeah.
2019
That was
was a
that long
fluke.
ago,
They
man.
got lucky.
I'm out of too.
Was it 2020?
It might have been the
I
COVID
think it
year, I
was
think.
COVID year. It was COVID year. That was a bad year for us. We'll
Uh,
talk about.
I want to get into SMU Tulane a little bit. Just
Love the group of 5.
just because there's something about this SMU team that I love. I don't watch a lot of SMU football. I promise I'm not gonna cap. I watch very little SMU football. But I turned on this
It's
offense
hard to
last
watch.
week. I turned on this offense last week, man, against I think it might have been Army or Navy. I mean, Army and Navy ain't good, but like it was like they it was like they it's like they were playing nobody. I mean, every play they ran was perfect execution. I want to check the box score of this game, but they had like 56 points at halftime, I think.
Yeah. And another thing that comes down to this game, which is bigger than a lot of people really think, the winner gets a New Year's Six bowl game.
Yeah, the winner is an automatic
They're
New York Six Bowl.
because they're the best group of 5 teams. So not only are they fighting for their conference, but they're fighting to play a top 10 team in 6 or 4 of the best bowl games. And for a lot of these kids, they don't really have an opportunity because they don't play in these Power 5 conferences. So playing in these games, like how Tulane did last year, and they beat USC and Caleb Williams, it means a lot towards them.
This game, like I know people don't talk, like they don't talk about these like lower non-power 5 schools a lot, but this like a game, like winning a game like this for SMU or Tulane and getting that New Year's Six Bowl is a program changer right there. Like that changes your program.
Absolutely.
People don't look into
Second
that.
year in a row for Tulane.
Yeah,
Second year in a row, Tulane.
Tulane's trying. They've been in the rankings. They've been low in the rankings. Like they've been 20s and the 18s recently. I mean, these are big games for these programs. It's not all about the college football playoff.
Yeah.
Some teams have no shot at the college football playoff, and they know that. And this is their college football playoff right here.
And that's why this 12-team playoff next year is gonna be exciting because it gives more of these teams an opportunity to at least have a chance. Like, yes, obviously they could have a March Madness miracle run, but the odds of that are still pretty low. But this 12-team playoff allows them to at least it gives them some hope.
It does.
It allows them to recruit better. And if they win games, that means they get boosters. Boosters decide to throw more money. And I know we're talking NIL, but NIL now is half of recruiting.
NIL is basically. I mean, like if you're offering me money to play football and someone else isn't, I'm taking that. Like I'm taking that. I be seeing people getting these new trucks, like brand new truck. I'm driving a 2012 Honda Accord that barely gets around. This kid's getting a brand new truck. He's the kicker for Georgia State. Like what? I don't know, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're completely right. This game puts programs on the map, and it's huge for recruiting and getting. Yeah. I mean, we saw what happened. Missouri was awful for a long time, and they got their hometown recruit Burden. What's his name? Luther Burden.
He's a beast.
And he's an animal, man. He's changed everything. They're like top 10 Missouri, right? Or right outside of it if they're not.
I think he's the guy I'm thinking about, but I'm almost positive he's like 22 yards away from breaking like the all-time receiving record or career record. I know it might be something. I don't know.
Is it the Mizzou record?
It might be, but I mean, and also consider it. He's going to be in the draft this year, and he doesn't have to play in this game.
He does not have to play in this game. He does not have to play in this game.
We'll get more into that when we go over the New Year's Six Bowls because a lot of those games have top 25 players in them in the first round, and you never know who's going to sit out, who's not. It's going to make a big difference when it comes down to that.
I still hold it against Christian McCaffrey for sitting out of that game to this day.
Yeah.
To this day. You want to get into predictions? College football playoff 1 through 4?
Yep. So I'll go through my predictions, and this
Start
is
with the 4.
purely off of my picks.
Start with your 4. I'll give my 4, and then we'll go down the numbers.
I'm gonna warn you now. It is a very controversial top 4, and
Great.
the reason why I have
Great.
it is off of what I think the committee will look at and what happens in the other games.
Okay.
So my 4 gonna be Alabama.
All right. And that's obviously because you got them beating
Exactly.
Georgia. My 4 is going to stay Florida State. I think they're going to stay in the 4.
Do I think Alabama is a better team than Florida State? 1,000%.
I agree. I think if Alabama and Florida State played
1000%.
tomorrow, Alabama probably wins by 20. But that's just not what college
Easily.
football. That's not what it is. It's not the question.
At the end of the day, it's going to come down to the resume, and it's going to be hard with not putting a 13-0 team in the playoff.
Yeah.
And we'll get down to that with my picks. All right. My number 3 team, the Oregon Ducks.
And that's where we differ. Is I'm taking Washington there. I think they're going to win that game. I mean, if you thought Oregon was going to win that game, makes sense. I don't disagree with that at all. But you're 2 and you're 1.
See, that's what I'm saying. It's getting a little controversial.
Because now I'm not smelling Georgia in this mix.
You're not smelling Georgia or Texas.
So Georgia's out the kitchen.
I'll tell you, I think
Georgia.
I think this could be a scenario where Georgia gets unlucky, because I think Florida State. Yes, my prediction is, I think I had 24-10 for my Florida. Yeah, 24-10. That's one 12-0 team down. Alabama's not gonna. Remember, Alabama's at 8, so they're gonna jump. It's gonna be harder to have a team jump from 8 to 3 or 2. So that's why I have them at 4.
Makes sense.
Oregon, they win the Pac-12. They just replace Washington's spot. I have Michigan winning. We can both guess where I put Michigan. And you're asking where's Florida State, and I have the Seminoles at number 2, based off the resume.
Wow.
Based
Florida
off
State's
their
in
Louisville
the 2.
game. It's a hot take. Do I think they're gonna beat Oregon? No. But off the resume, off of their conference championship game, and off of the other games that are going on, if you really look into it, it makes sense why I put him at number 2.
Wow. I mean, when you say it like that,
Do I think they're a top 4 team in the country? No. They play in the ACC. They're undefeated. There's 2 undefeated teams.
I don't think you could put them over Oregon. That's my thing. I don't think you could put them over Oregon, undefeated or not. I was
going back and forth on it for a while. I just think Florida State takes care of business.
Yeah. But I feel like the committee putting Washington at 3 was not only just we don't want Florida State in, but I think that said the Pac-12 winner is going to be placed above Florida State, even if they were to win the ACC. I just think that's how I thought they were looking at it. But
I could totally see it the same way. And again, if the analysts don't know what they're talking about, we can't even know what we're talking about, because there's 8 teams. It's hard. It's hard.
Until my prediction's spot on, all these analysts looking like, oh, maybe this guy's the analyst.
Exactly.
I don't know. They don't know how much football I watch. They don't know. They don't know how much of a loser I am. They don't know.
No, dead ass. Like, they don't know what I'm doing at 1:30 in the morning when I'm rotting in my bed and I just have random college football highlights on.
Do you think I enjoy watching Ollie Gordon run all day? Do you think I enjoy watching
Probably
Big Ten?
not,
do you think I enjoy watching Big Ten defenses like Iowa? Do you think I enjoy watching Iowa, Nebraska on a Saturday? Brock Purdy's little brother throwing an interception right to the linebacker? I mean, Jesus Christ, bro.
A 25 and a half under, and it hit.
And it hit. And Brock Purdy, if you could just go home and just talk to your little brother. If you ever saw this, Brock Purdy, I highly doubt you will, but if you do, if you get a conversation with your little brother, I want you to tell him right now. I want What was he looking for? Did he think he was a tight end? I don't know because
He
there's
the
no other
linebacker, like the linebacker is running the route. It was insane.
If
And I feel
that
so
ball,
bad for these fan bases too, because these two fan bases are huge. The Nebraska fan base is a top four biggest college football fan base in the country.
oh my
And they
God, could you
suck
imagine? Could you imagine?
every year.
Could you
Oh
imagine
my
what
god.
Nebraska used to be to what they are? Matt Rule's their head coach.
Oh my god. Our producer's kicking himself.
Oh
He's
my God, our
dying.
producer is.
He's just
Oh
dying.
my God, Matt Rule. All right, let's get him. I got Michigan at the 2, though. I got Michigan at the 2. Obvious reasons. They're gonna stay
You're gonna
there.
take Georgia
At the
number
1.
Yeah.
Yeah. So your 1's gonna be Michigan.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
And I think that Michigan Alabama game is going to be electric if it happens. And then, I mean, your playoff opens up a better championship game. My playoff doesn't. But if Oregon beats Florida State and Michigan and Alabama, that game could go anyway.
I think
Oregon,
that either of if Florida's assuming Florida State gets out, I think any of those 3 teams
Yeah.
playing in the championship, that's a great college football.
will be an amazing game. Will be a great game.
You got your seeding? Do you want to pick your seeding and your winner, or do you want to save that for? You want to get a prediction out there? You can just throw out you're national champion right now. Just throw me out your national championship. If you had to pick right now, who's going to win it all?
Off of my playoff prediction, Bama beats Michigan, Oregon beats Florida State, Bama beats Oregon.
Wow. I got Georgia handles Florida State, Washington loses to Michigan, Michigan wins the Natty, and they beat Georgia. I don't think Georgia can three-peat. I think that Michigan. I think Harbaugh needs a win for his legacy to be that Michigan #1 head coach. He gets the Natty. That would make him the best. I think the Natty makes Harbaugh the best Michigan coach ever in program history. Instantly, he'd be tied, but he'd be tied with national titles. He'd be tied. I don't want to hear about a Michigan national title against the Michigan School of the Deaf. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear one of those 1928 titles where they're playing middle schools in week 2.
Look. He will definitely be up there if he. I mean, this is his year.
If they win the national championship, he'd be the winningest head coach in Michigan history, and he'd have tied for the most national championship coached. So
fair.
And he's done it in not a lot of time. Is this his 4th year, 5th year?
Like 8.
8?
I think he got there in like 20.
Where has time went, man? Oh my, no way.
Let me look it up.
Actually, I am completely off. I am not even in the right year. I am not even in the right year. I thought it was 2021, low key. When did he get hired?
He started 2014, December 30th, 2014.
He started when I was in 5th grade?
Yeah, dude, long ass time. Dude,
Never mind. I take that back.
Super Bowl was like 2011, 2012. Like that's 11 years now. Like we're old.
Man. I still don't take that back though. With the amount of time, I still think he'd be the best head coach in Michigan history. I think that in this era, winning a national championship is harder than it ever has been, even with the playoff.
Easily.
So I think that would. I think this is huge for Harbaugh. I think if he's, the suspension and everything, I think if there's a year Michigan's going to win it, it's going to be this one. If it's ever been as wide open.
I swear to God, if you say that Michigan's America's team, I'm going to be so mad at you.
I'm not going to say all that.
Not true.
I'm not going to say all that.
Not true.
But bet.
Any Michigan fan that says that, you're wrong. I don't care about Harbaugh. He's a cheater. He's a crybaby. I don't give a fuck.
James Franklin's sitting somewhere wishing he had that supporting cast, though.
James Franklin's sitting there is like, who am I going to hire an offensive coordinator, and how do I learn how to coach a football game?
How do you get a quarterback?
He needs to do both.
How do you get a quarterback? Why can't they just recruit a quarterback? How hard is it for Penn State to recruit a quarterback?
We did. Drew Allard. He was a 5-star. He was the top quarterback in the country coming in.
Which country? Because it ain't fucking this one. It ain't fucking this one.
Dude, don't give up on Allard yet. Yes, he did not have the greatest year.
Don't give up on him yet. I gave up on him 4 weeks ago. No joke.
Dude,
he's got all seriousness. All seriousness, yes, time.
All series. He threw for 2,300 something yards and an offense that runs the ball a lot. Threw one interception in his first year starting, which is impressive in itself. He protected the ball well. In that last game against Michigan State, Michigan State fucking
Yeah.
blows. He threw some pretty balls. Like Michigan State aggravates me so much because they've been a good Power 5 Big Ten East team. They just suck. Did you see what happened yesterday?
With
All three of their quarterbacks transferred. They're all out.
I
They
didn't
have
see that.
no quarterbacks on their roster. They don't have one.
I'm done.
Maybe
Michigan
some
State, bro.
walk-on kid.
Yeah, Michigan State's got to go. They've been a shit program since Connor Cook. It's just been downhill from there. Anything else? College football? You want to wrap it up here? We're in the 50-minute mark.
I do want to go to New Year's Six Bowls for a sec.
Yes.
But I want to mention something so I don't get like fucking flamed by people. If Georgia beats Bama, I think they are the best team in the country. And I think Georgia will go on the three-peat. That's what I will say.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I was not expecting that, bro. The producer showed up out of nowhere. Producer shows up out of nowhere. Jesus, I forgot we had those.
I forgot I just figured they stopped paying attention.
Me too, honestly. Yeah, shout out on the crew back there, bro. You guys don't see them, but we see them.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Love that, bro. Year 6.
Yeah. All right, so Rose Bowl, Sugar Bowl, that's going to be the college football playoff. We already talked about that. So we have the Orange Bowl, the Cotton Bowl, and the Fiesta Bowl.
And this is your Super Bowl. This is your Super Bowl, the Fiesta Bowl, probably.
You and I both know it's not the spot where you want to be, but it's a spot where we are, and you play where you are.
It's the spot you end up most of the time.
All right, so out of these 4 bowls, fuck up, dude. You don't know how hard it is being a fan of this team. Year in and year out. It's the same shit since 2016. We should have won it in 2016. We should have made the Big Ten Conference Championship in 2017. It's just the same shit. Franklin, I'm talking to you right now. I'm a big Franklin guy. If you don't get your shit together next year, I don't know.
You're at State College. I don't know why you're talking to me. Go talk to him. You could find him.
I actually do kind of know where his house is. I have roommates from State College who.
Yo.
Just saying,
Franklin. Might want to get your shit together, buddy.
Way too long.
Might want to get your shit together.
Way too long. This school deserves a playoff.
Hear that? That's a Nittany Lion. That's a Nittany Lion. Through and through.
Oh, don't make me get the hat out. Don't make me get my hat out.
No. We don't need that. We don't need that. What do you want to say about the New Year Sixes? Because I really don't have a lot on it, but I'll just go off you because I know you.
So I'll go based off my top 10. So my top 10 is after Bama, I have Georgia at 5, Texas at 6, Ohio State at 7. I think Ohio State chumps Washington. Washington falls down to 8. I have Penn State at 9, Missouri at 10. I can see Penn State, Missouri interchanging 9 and 10. Don't really think that makes a difference. So I'll start off with the Cotton Bowl. Cotton Bowl, I'm going to put the Group of 5 team, and right now I'm going to put Tulane. They've had the experience. They were there a lot. They were there. I mean, they were in a New Year's Six Bowl. They won it, and they're going to get Missouri. Not my favorite New Year's Six Bowl game out of the matchups I have. At the end of the day, I still think it's going to be electrifying because Tulane, you never know. They beat a Pac-12 team last year.
Amen.
If they come in and beat a very good SEC team this year, watch out for Tulane next year. I mean, just watch out.
You're putting Tulane on college football playoff watch next year? Is that official?
I mean, they're the best. They've been the best Group of 5 team for 2 years in a row. They win this week. They do it 3 times. They're automatically in. So, I mean, we'll see. Look, I'm not saying they're a top 10 team in the country.
Yeah, no.
Not close. Not even close. Like, there's no shot. I'm just saying, these Group of 5 teams with this college 12-team expansion playoff, it can get interesting.
Yeah, even seeing Tulane next year, even seeing them in the 12-team playoff would just be awesome to see, even though they probably get blown out. Just would be fun to see.
Oh, yeah, it'll be fun to see, exactly. I'll go to my next bowl game. It's going to be the Orange Bowl, and the good thing about having so many teams fighting for a playoff spot, you're gonna have some really good bowl games.
Yeah.
So right now, I'm going to rank from my least favorite to my favorite in terms of matchup wise. I'm putting the Orange Bowl, Penn State, Ole Miss in the Orange Bowl. I think it's going to be a good Big Ten SEC game. I would love to see Lane Kiffin try. That would make me happy.
Yeah, I got no faith in
I,
Jackson Dart, so I'd take Penn State in that one.
yeah, I mean, neither do I. I mean, our defense is off the charts. Probably a top 3 defense in the country. It's just we have 0 offense production. We've talked about Penn State enough. I'm not going to get into it. Obviously, I'm taking Penn State.
Chop Robinson!
All right.
Off the edge.
Hey,
Off the edge.
dude,
Watch
get
out.
ready. Get ready. All right.
Yeah,
Next
enough Penn
2 bowl
State.
games. We have the Fiesta Bowl and the Peach Bowl. The Fiesta Bowl is typically a Big Ten Pac-12 tie-in game with the conferences. So in honor of the last year of the Pac-12, I'm gonna have a Washington, Ohio State,
Ooh.
the Buckeyes play the
Ooh.
Huskies.
I like that.
Phoenix, Arizona. I think that game will be electric. I think
I like
Penix
that.
plays in it. I'm not sure if Marvin Harrison will play in it. I think Penix plays in it. I'm hoping Ruben Dunze plays in it. I think there'll be a super good offense against a super good defense. McCord, obviously, that's the best quarterback. Dudes could still rip the ball. And I mean, if you're throwing a Marvin Harrison, you're throwing a Marvin Harrison. And it's not like Julian Fleming or Mike Bupa or terrible receivers. Julian Fleming had his best game of his career last week against Michigan.
He
was a
looked good.
5-star coming out of high school, too.
Yeah, no, people forget that. He looked good.
Yeah, and next year when Igbuka and Harrison leave, even though Harrison said he's undecided, we'll see.
Yeah, top 2
It's going to be Fleming's role.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be Fleming's
And he's
role.
and McCord, he'll have the extra year with him. McCord's going to stay, I assume. I don't really know what year McCord is.
If he leaves, he's out of a job. Like he can be working. He's gonna be working construction in Philadelphia. Let's be honest. He could go back and get his degree and do absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
All right. So I mean, coming down to our last bowl, Peach Bowl. Last 2 teams, Battle of the Blue Bloods. We got the Bulldogs, the Longhorns.
Please don't make
Georgia
that
versus Texas.
Please don't make that an actual matchup IRL, because I couldn't even imagine what the fan bases would say to each other after this game. I couldn't even imagine.
The Peach Bowl and it's in Atlanta. So
great. Even better. Oh my God! Please board up every Waffle House after this game, please. Every Waffle House in Atlanta, please put a sign. Please don't come in. Don't come in if you're a Georgia fan. Don't come in if you're anybody. Just don't. Because if I had angry Texas fans showing up at my Waffle House in my hometown, I'd be fucking pissed.
And the Atlanta strip clubs. Don't forget about them.
Yeah, you got Matthew McConaughey walking in. All right. Fucking like, holy shit,
all right.
Shit's gonna get wicked real quick if that game actually happens.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, but I mean, honestly, in that game, I don't see Brock Bowers playing in that game. There's no point for him.
Nope.
Texas is Quinn Ewers going to stay? We don't know. Could he play? Could he not play? I mean, Texas does have the deepest quarterback room in the country with Murphy and then obviously Arch Manning. But I don't know if you saw this, but Mississippi State just hired a new head coach, an Elko. And Arch Manning was in for a little visit in the Starkville.
So you're up. Something's brewing. I don't know what it is, but something might be brewing. Something's getting going back there.
I don't think Arch Manning liked staying behind Ewers all year and not beating out Murphy for the number 2 spot. I mean, we'll see.
If you're Arch Manning, you should be thinking, I don't have to compete for a 2 spot.
Yep.
So
exactly. And obviously nothing would make me happier to see Texas lose their starting quarterback to the draft, their prodigal son in Arch Manning to a SEC team where he probably will go. Watch out for the Bulldogs. Watch out for the Bulldogs.
Mississippi State has not been relevant in years.
No, I'm talking about the Georgia Bulldogs.
No, I know the Georgia Bulldogs, but Mississippi State has not been relevant in years. If they got Arch Manning, that would make them instantly relevant.
Yeah, and I like the head coach hiring. Good dude. He was with the program, took a head coaching job at Duke, I think he was at. Now he's back at Mississippi State, taking over the reins. And again, good college football fan base. Just haven't seen production in a while.
Yeah.
I think the last time I saw Mississippi State was in a big game was against Ole Miss when was it Chad Smith? The white dude, bald white dude who played what's his name in like 2014.
If we're going back to 2014, didn't Dak Prescott play for Mississippi State?
Yeah, I think that game was. I think it was those two when Ole Miss and Mississippi State was relevant.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, all right. So that closes up my New Year's Six segment.
Yeah,
If
no,
you want to go to yours, you can.
I don't know
Not a
who's
big
gonna end up in New Year's Six Bowls. Honestly, I don't know. I
Yeah.
more wanted you to go off that. I don't have as much on that.
Perfect.
You want to get into some NFL?
Dude, I would love to get into some NFL.
Oh man,
This is more your territory. Trust
Yeah.
me, I love the NFL. I'm a big college football guy, but
I love college football too. I just watch I'm more of an NFL super sweat. I want to talk Cowboys Seahawks for like 2 minutes. 2 minutes.
follow
Because
me.
that's tomorrow.
Yep.
It's at Dallas to -9. The Cowboys at home have been destroying teams the entire year. They have been dominating this
Mickey
entire
Mouse
season.
schedule.
Mickey Mouse schedule. Yes, they're playing a team with a winning record this week. Geno Smith in the last weeks, his efficiency is hitting the floor, and he's getting carried by original weeks. I watched Geno Smith play against the Lions week 2, and he is a completely different quarterback now, and he's been banged up and stuff like
Absolutely.
that. He has not been there for this team. I think the Cowboys are going to dominate tomorrow.
Me too. I think Dallas continues their winning streak, but Dallas, they get past this game, and their schedule isn't so easy anymore.
No.
So
they need this game. If they want the NFC East, they need this game. They need this game.
Yeah.
And I know if you saw the NFL playoff machine came out, which is literally my favorite thing that's ever existed in the world. So I've been on that for hours and hours and hours on end. The Cowboys, man, this 1 seed, I mean, it's really this game against Philly, this 1 seed, they could take it. If they beat Philly, then they could beat anybody. And they could definitely take this 1 seed from Philly.
I don't think they're beating Philly.
I think they are going to beat Philly. I think they have it, man. I know. I think they have it this year, man. I think they do. They got Prescott is in such a rhythm, and he is finding guys left and right, and he's just controlling this offense. He does not look hindered at all in the pocket. He's getting the ball out quick, and what I really love is the stupid, yeah, here we go. It's annoying. You hear it on the TV all day. It's annoying, but it's really helping him. Like, it seems like since he's incorporated this and like got into this like rhythm and his checks at the line, pointing out the mics, he's really getting this offense going, and Lamb's been dominating. And when you have an offensive line like that, I mean, there's probably 3 future Hall of Famers on that offensive line. So I mean, you really you don't need that much more when you're Dallas. And that defense, we don't even got to talk about that. Like,
I'm always a big Micah Parsons guy. You know that.
And Bland's got a record already, man. That's crazy.
Unbelievable. Actually unbelievable.
It is crazy.
Don't forget, Tony Pollard was held scoreless for like 6-7 straight weeks in back-to-back games as a touchdown.
I'm not as impressed with Tony Pollard as I am with Rico Dowdle with the ball in his hands.
Me too. I like how Rico Dowdle runs the ball.
He is a good change of pace, and maybe it just be because of Pollard. It might that could be some of it, but it's like he jumps off the screen when he has the ball in his hand. And I think that as the playoffs start building, you're going to start seeing teams more use these gadget guys that they've had, and they're like slowly starting to implement because they're getting warmer with the ball in their hand. He's a guy I'd watch out for. He's a guy in fantasy that if my team wasn't loaded, I'd have on my roster, because if Pollard goes down, I could see Dowell getting massive numbers, and I think he'll start taking some receiving work as well.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to say it's kind of like a Pollard Zeke situation, but I mean, if Rico Dowdle starts playing well, you know, Jerry Jones is weird when it comes to his offensive players.
Jerry Jones is just weird in general. He's just weird in general.
He's a ghost. I'm not a big fan.
How is he still alive?
Ghost.
How is he still alive?
I don't know. Only thing I'll give to him is he built a multi-billion-dollar franchise. Yeah, it's cool. I hate him.
He hates it so
Like,
much, bro. He hates it so much, bro.
I actually hate him so much, and the only person I might actually hate more than him is Dak Prescott. So it really hurts seeing him play well.
It's Seattle's got
Yeah. So yeah,
Seattle's got their work cut out for them. I'll tell you that. And DK Metcalf, where has he went? Where's DK Metcalf? Charvarius Ward seems to be living in his head.
Is Kenneth Walker playing tomorrow night? Or is it still Charbonnet?
I want
I think
to
it's still
say
Charbonnet.
Charbonnet is the starter. I don't think Walker is going to be back. I'm going to see right here. He is doubtful. He probably won't suit up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Dallas
Charbonnet
tomorrow.
runs the ball hard.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
Charbonnet is a hard runner, but
I like Dallas.
it's not like the Dowell Pollard. It's more like he needs Kenneth Walker in there. He's not dynamic enough to run the backfield on his own. I think most guys aren't anymore. I think if you want to be successful in this league, you really need two running backs that can like put a load on their shoulders.
I can name one player who's the opposite of that. Saquon Barkley.
Yep.
I mean, no, like literally.
Literally, he is the offense, and that's not. It's not even like you can't even evaluate a running back like that. Like you can't.
Mhm.
You can't. And these running backs are getting run into the ground.
Exactly. Before we go any further, big shout out Tommy DeVito.
The New Jersey. 201, baby.
Costco legend, Cedar Grove hometown guy. Lives with his parents. His dad is the man. Never met him before, but you gotta love.
You gotta love it. Tailgating in East Rutherford. How do you hate that, man?
Oh, you can't. You
How do you
can't.
hate that?
All right, that's enough for the Giants. They suck. We suck. I can't watch us anymore.
What about Detroit, though? What about Detroit?
We'll get to Detroit. We'll get to Detroit.
Detroit, they're pretty good, man. Let's talk.
Hey.
Let's talk. I want to talk about this primetime game. Or not the primetime game, the Eagles-Niners on Sunday.
Oh, so we're jumping around. We're just gonna jump around?
Yeah, like I don't want to like. We'll touch up on like some of these like games that have less playoff implication, but I want to like dive into some of these.
Yeah, works for me.
This is a good one. This is huge.
Yes, this is. I know a lot of people could say last week could be the NFL game of the year, the Eagles-Bills. I think this one could top it.
This is a loaded matchup here. Interesting enough, Philly's home, and they are the 3-point dog.
I saw that. So you know how I live with a bunch of Philly guys.
Yeah.
So I've watched a lot of Eagles footballs this year, and I'll tell you my pick in a sec. But again, hurts me to say, Eagles are a really good football team.
Yeah,
Jalen Hurts, I think, is playing his best football, and I think he's playing better than last year. He's managing the game better. You could tell he's out for his revenge tour. He's not running as much. He's saving his body.
He's got that knee's a little the knee's a little tweaked up though.
The knee's not healthy. Knee's not completely healthy, but like, dude, in that fourth quarter, he threw like that ball to Devonta Smith in the end zone was just high. Gave him a chance to come down with it. I mean, then again, you're also throwing in two of the best receivers in football.
Yeah, but you can't put that ball anywhere else, and that ball's getting caught.
Exactly. That throw to, how do you say his name?
Zacchaeus? Olamide Zacchaeus. Love him.
Beauty. Absolute beauty.
But this pass rush for the 49ers is not like last year. They have a step up this year. They are ramped up, and the secondary stepped up as well.
I love that trade with the Commanders. They got Chase Young. He's healthy after 2 years. He's playing motivated football like he was at Ohio State. And I know I said the Eagles are a really good football team. Niners, when healthy, they're better. And that's why I'm taking the Niners to win this one.
I'm also taking the Niners. I like the Niners over the Eagles in this one. I like them big, too. The Eagles, yeah, they're complete, but so are the Niners. And the Eagles, they've been slow to start a lot of these games this year. They've been slow to start. I don't think they got a chance to be slow to start in this one. If you're giving touches to McCaffrey with the lead, and anytime you got like Trent Williams where you can put him in motion and you got a guy that's 350 pounds that can bench like 600 pounds in motion behind the best running back in football with George Kittle pulling as a tight end with Deebo Samuel blocking, I mean, not a not a lot of guys on the Eagles are going to be a favorable matchup there. I don't care who you are.
And the Eagles linebacker core is weak.
It's
That's
weak.
why their defense.
They have the guys that can blitz and like get the sacks, but their secondary is
They're
weak.
not run stoppers.
And they're not run stoppers.
Yeah, I mean,
this is a bad matchup for Philly for sure. This is a nightmare matchup for Philadelphia.
That's honestly why the line is probably where it is. Like that defense from last year, this year, yeah, they lose Gannon, but they drafted Jalen Carter. They brought back Reddick. They have BG, Brandon Graham. They still have Darius Slay. It's not the same. And
Darius Slay is an aging corner. So is Bradbury.
They have two aging corners. They have two. James Bradbury too.
And I mean, what are we in, week 13?
13.
We're in week 13 of the season, man. Those hits pile up. I don't care if you're healthy, not healthy. If you can go at this point in the season, you are going. And for guys this age to hold up against two guys that in the Shanahan offense are going to be running a lot of crossers and a lot of things, they're going to have to keep up. And then they're also, if you're going to have to drop back in the next play, they're probably giving it to McCaffrey, and then you have to run back up. And their run pursuit in the secondary, aside from Byard, who can do it, but he's also aging a little. You know, you don't have the horses, I don't think, on the defensive side of the ball.
You have skinny Reed Blankenship, who, look, he's not terrible. Is he going to tackle one-on-one with Christian McCaffrey? Absolutely not.
He's going to be not a lot of guys
goes in a different direction on the floor, and a bunch of Philly fans are going to be crying, which I can't wait to happen. You have no idea how hard it is to live with a shit ton of Philly fans. They go to school with them. So I'm really praying the Niners win this game so they can all shut the fuck.
I like Niners. Sirianni, great coach. Sirianni's scheme, great. Shanahan schemes, better. They have more horses. Quarterback, Hurts is much better than Purdy, but Purdy will do enough. He'll do enough.
Purdy's been throwing pretty balls. Like,
people forget that this is Purdy's second year. He's still developing. He's still developing into a quarterback.
He had the 3-week stretch where he didn't play his best football. Didn't really have healthy players.
Yeah.
Is he getting carried a little bit? Could be. He's still making those throws. Somebody still has to get Deebo Samuel, McCaffrey, George Kittle, Ayuk the ball. They're getting open. Somebody still has to throw to him. And some balls he throws, he played really well in that game last week against Seattle. And they're riding high after a big win. They almost kind of blew in the third quarter, but they picked it back up in the fourth. They're going to go hard at the Eagles. This is their revenge game. This is their revenge game.
They didn't even get a shot in the NFC Championship. The Niners did not get a fair shot in the championship game. I feel like they feel like that Super Bowl was taken away from them. And I expect them to come out here and really make a statement on Sunday, which is scary because I don't like either of these teams right now. And
no, I actually despise a lot of both of these teams.
But that's going to be a good one to watch, and I hope that the 49ers get it done.
Yeah, I will say, if the Eagles win this game, the NFC, the NFL, watch out, because
if the Eagles can beat the Niners here and make it look convincing, it might. I mean, they're not even playing their best football. That's the scary thing. If the Eagles' offense can get the proper run pass balance attack going, there could be a lot of issues.
I still think Hurts is almost a front runner for the MVP.
He's the favorite right now in most books.
I would say he's my favorite.
I would agree.
This fucking sucks to say, but it is what it is.
He's a guy that you're not out of it with Hurts at quarterback. I'll tell you that. He's not a guy that's going to give up on your football team.
No. Are you going to take San Francisco to cover 3?
Yeah, I think they're going to win by 7.
I think the line's too low. I mean, if it happens, it happens.
I think people are gonna see that and they're gonna be like, "No way, the Eagles lose this game," and they lose by 7. Another one I want to talk about. Very interesting game. Broncos Texans. At 1.
I have in my notes. This is my potential game of the week behind the Niners and Eagles. Yes, I
like this
think
one.
This game is going to be electric. We have a very hot Broncos team. 5 straight. Portland Sun scoring in 7 straight games against a surprisingly good Texans team who just lost a heartbreaker to a 8-win team in Jacksonville. So, and Houston's home. They have the 3.5 favorited spread. I want to hear your take on this one.
Um, it's a very interesting matchup to me. You got young versus young, and what I like to say, old versus old, or young versus old, and all that
Mm-hmm.
bullshit. You know what I'm saying? They got Stroud at quarterback, and he's been balling. D'Amico Ryan. I mean, this is a good coach. So very well coached team, and something that they have not had this entire season is a pass defense. And you saw Stingley come back, and it's like maybe it's here. Maybe it's here. And I expect Houston to run at least 30 times in this game just because they have two backs and they have Stroud. I think they'll at least have 30 ground attempts. The Broncos are hot. They're just finding ways to win. So is Houston, kind of. I think they bounce back and win. I think they get it done. I don't think they can lose back to back. The Broncos can't lose a game, but I don't think Houston will lose back to back in this spot.
Yeah. I mean, Tank Dell is just, he's growing into a solid wide receiver in the NFL. His speed's off the chart. He gets behind that secondary. When you have a guy like Stroud, who's throwing this much and he can throw it that deep, it's the perfect combination.
It is. It definitely is. I love that story. C.J. Stroud getting the call. Like you got like any guys in the draft? He says Tank Dell, and they go out and grab him. That's good on the organization. When I hear stuff like that is good on the organization for making that call, especially after firing Lovie Smith after just one season and what looked surprising. But I thought was the correct move. You could get a go at a guy like that. But I like Houston this
I
one
love
for sure.
D'Amico Ryans.
I love him too.
I think D'Amico Ryan. I thought he was a great hire. Just how I thought how Robert Saleh was a good hire for the Jets. But we'll see about him.
Saleh has had no quarterback. That defense.
I think he's a good coach.
That defense is enough for me to say. If he had a quarterback, it's enough for me to say he's worth a shot. Like somewhere else. Like if he was to get fired by the Jets and things don't work out, I think he would be worth at least another 1-year tenure somewhere else.
Easily. And he runs a good locker room. The players love him.
He sucks at the podium though. He sucks at the podium, man.
Oh, he's not a good podium guy.
He is miserable in the media. That's the one thing he's got to really work on is he really can't. He can't just deliver a message, let it be said without like what does that actually? Does that mean this?
You can't call your quarterback like that. You can't do it.
Yeah, no. I don't care if you're 0-10. It's like, you know.
Yeah, and you can't say that, and then you put Tim Boyle in.
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
you can't say all that about Zach Wilson. You put Tim Boyle in.
Yeah,
threw a Hail Mary, and all Jets fans, I hope you fucking enjoyed that shit, you piece of fuckers. I fucking hate you fucks too.
Oh God. We're coming out for blood right now.
Fucking Dale, dude, I've been waiting to come out for blood. That's what I need this podcast for, just to come at people.
So you're just out here head hunting today, week 1.
Dude, my team suck. All I can do is just come at people.
Honestly, it's very weird for me to talk to business. Like my team is in the playoff picture right now and winning a division. It's never been like this for me ever.
Yeah, I mean, I told you before the year started, I like the Lions to win their division, and now I think they have a chance to lock up that number 2 seed.
Number 2 seed. We play for ones here, but that's all right. That's all right. It seems like you missed a message. You got a pick? You like Broncos, Texans?
I took Denver.
Took Denver. I like Houston. I
took Denver.
Why? What wins it for Denver?
Their defense is hot. Their offense is hot. Sean Payton is finally having control of this team. Russ, it's not obviously looking back to old Russ, but he's not throwing the.
It's a completely different offense than that Pete Carroll offense. Cut him some slack. He had to learn the system. And
no, I know, and he looks fundamentally better. Cortland Sutton's pretty good. I mean, Jerry Jeudy's good. He's just not having the year that a lot of people thought he was. Javonte Williams.
There's guys
I think it's
there.
going to be a nail biter. I think it's going to be a nail biter to the end with Russell Wilson's experience, Sean Payton's experience. I think they pull it out.
Interesting. I was expecting you to go to Houston here. I thought you would ride the CJ Stroud train.
Dude, I love CJ Stroud. I mean, I didn't like him at Ohio State, but I thought he was the best quarterback in that draft. I saw him and Marvin Harrison connect 12 times in front of my face, and I'm like, this
Yeah.
dude is
Yeah.
pinpointing passes.
Yeah, it's got to be tough for someone to watch. I couldn't imagine having that be me. But moving on. Next, I want to talk
What
about
game do you
Detroit.
want to go to?
I want to talk about this Detroit Saints game real quick.
I knew we were going to talk about Detroit. I'm going to pick the next game after that because I got a good game brewing up after that.
Let me get into this Detroit game because this is a must-win.
I'm gonna let you rant for 2 minutes. I'm not gonna say a word, just let you go off.
Okay. This is a must-win game for Detroit. If they lose this game, the season is over. The season is over. Like, I'm so serious. If they lose this game, the season is over. Jared Goff has been a walking statue these last 2 weeks, and Hendon Hooker's practicing again. I don't be surprised if Goff turns the ball over 3 times again this week on the road at New Orleans. If Hendon Hooker comes in to play some quarterback next week, I would not be surprised. I really wouldn't. The team, the Detroit Lions, they know, Dan Campbell knows this is their Super Bowl window. If they're going to get it, it's this year or next. If you cannot push the ball down the field in the fourth quarter because your quarterback's not dynamic enough, there's an issue. Because our weapons are way too good for an offense to not be being able to put up points when they need to put up points. And that Thanksgiving game, a lot of people hate the defense. A lot of people want to blame Aaron Glenn in this defense. It's not the defense's fault. When the offense can't put up any points, it put the Packers on their heels. In this game, if the Detroit Lions have the run game, if they turn the ball over more than twice, they're going to lose. They don't have the horses. They're going to lose. The Detroit Lions are not that great of a team. If I'm being honest, they're not that great of a team. The defense is a bunch of scrappy guys put together with some high draft picks, and there's some scrubs that you developed a little bit to play better in your scheme. Other than that, there's nobody. There's nobody on the defensive side of the ball. I mean, there's not. And the depth signings they made in free agency, you know, it's not as good as drafting the guys. Jack Campbell, the first-round pick's been terrible for us this year, but he's got time.
Yeah.
If you have any thoughts on Detroit, they suck, but
I don't think Detroit sucks. I think Jared Goff is having his best season since that 1 year of the Rams where he led them to the Super Bowl. Did he not play well in the Packers game? Yes. He turned the ball over. Aiden Hutchinson is a beast off the edge, but you guys have dogs on the offense.
On the offense. But
dude, that Montgomery Gibbs connect duo, you could interchange them, and then you have Amon-Ra on the outside, and Laporta, tight end you in Iowa. Laporta's, I have him in one of my fantasy leagues, and I love him. I love him. He's a great dude to bet on. I think he's going to be a good tight end in this league for a while. Do I think they beat the Saints? Yes. The Saints do have a good defense. Watching Saints football kind of gives me a brain aneurysm unless when Jameis Winston plays, then I'm fully locked in to become a Saints fan for whenever he's in.
Jameis Winston football is the best football.
Love Jameis Winston. Like that Jameis Winston cross-field, cross-body throw for a touchdown fired me up more than almost anything this year, and it was electric.
Ball should never have been released. No chance any other quarterback is throwing that football. But Jameis Winston will do it, and he'll get it done. And if it was a pick, I would have loved it just as much if it was a touchdown.
Oh, exactly. Did you see him rapping a Ludacris last weekend?
Oh my God, to Derek Carr, bro. Oh my God.
Dude, Derek Carr's just like, bro, what the fuck are you doing?
Just a goofball, man.
Derek Carr sucks. Derek Carr sucks.
The Saints red zone offense has been miserable to watch. Groupie's like their best player this year.
Yeah, no, seriously. Olave, he's been battling injuries. He had a good week last week. Little head coaching talk for the offseason. Dennis Allen, I think, is done.
Done. I think he's got to be. He's got to be. The experiment's over.
Dude.
He couldn't do what Sean Payton did.
Average at best.
He couldn't do what Sean Payton did. They thought that maybe the defense, it looks like Sean Payton's defense, but that offense looks like nobody's offense.
Yeah. I have here in my notes, he hasn't shown any improvement. Every time they play, they just look average.
They just look bad. Like
Like
they just
they
don't.
just look average.
And they're competing for a division, so you'd think like a little urgency, but it's just not there.
They're one game out of the division.
I know, it's right there.
Yeah.
What do you think about the
Yeah. So
Oh, you go into your game actually first. Let's go into the game you want to
yeah, I
talk
mean
about.
that was all my thoughts about Lions Saints,
Yeah,
but I have a
no,
little
no
bit of a
more on the
sleeper game for
Lions.
you, and I want to see what you think about this one.
Please don't,
425 game.
please don't say Chargers,
Browns at
Patriots.
Rams.
Oh, that's a good one to
That's
talk about.
Browns at Rams.
Joe Flacco's a
I
starter.
think it's a bit of a fun one, dude. He's elite. He's an elite quarterback.
There's nothing like Joe Flacco after 3 years of not starting. He played. He's like started one game for the Jets. Maybe like that's what I'm including in those 3 years. Coming
Dude,
back to play some
it's like we're
Browns
back in middle
football.
school.
To play some Browns
It's
football.
like we're back in middle school, waking up and seeing Joe Flacco as a starting quarterback.
Am I crazy for thinking they're gonna win?
I mean, no, you're not crazy. I'm not taking him this one,
I think they're
even
gonna
with
win.
that defense.
That defense
I could
is
see it happening.
the offensive line for the Rams is probably not going to be able to hold up this week in run
No.
or pass pro.
Mhm.
So
So
I think.
here's my thing.
Yo, go.
Okay. Here's my thing when it comes down to Matthew Stafford, and I think this is going to matter a lot. When he plays a bad defense, his pocket gives him time. He makes those throws, like last week. When he plays a defense like the Browns on Sunday, it's not going to be like it was last week, where he looked good. He threw 2 touchdowns to Tyler Higbee. Kyron Williams obviously had the game of his life.
He is a monster, Kyron
But
Williams.
at the same time, I think having Kyron Williams back and having his confidence uplift after the big game, it's going to help Stafford. I mean, with Garrett, you'd already know Miles gets head hunting him. Like he's probably been sleeping with Matthew Stafford's head on his ceiling, eyes open, just
Thinking about that left
into his
tackle.
soul. Oh, no more Andrew Whitworth out there. So
That's
But-
good. It should be a good one though. I like the. I like what the Browns.
I like it.
I like what the Browns can do if Flacco's the quarterback a lot more than with DTR, because you know Flacco's not running.
Yeah.
Which I think opens up a little. I think it kind of makes your running, like the 2 running backs they have. I think it helps them in a sense, because DTR, like, he's not a threat throwing the ball. Like, he's not. And I mean, like, they got Amari Cooper and they got Elijah Moore, but they don't have like these scary weapons outside of that offensive line and the 2 running backs that are like still pretty average running backs now. I think the reason I think the Browns get it done is because of the defense, and because I think Flacco.
That's fair.
I think Flacco might. I haven't seen Flacco play in a long time, so I could be completely off. But if Flacco,
It's like 85% of the reason why I went to the Rams. It's so like
Yeah.
it's Joe Flacco.
if I think if Flacco can give them 200 yards and a touchdown, they win this game. Honestly, I really do. I think if he completes 15 passes, throws 22, they win this game.
How many picks?
He can't throw more than 2. He can't throw 2 picks. He has to throw 1 max.
Mhm.
I
have a. You keep going. Sorry.
too many turnovers at that point. If Flacco's giving you 2 turnovers, you know that's 2 wasted possessions now at that point, and it's like he's not gonna put up. He's like the Browns' offense with Deshaun Watson wasn't putting up 20 points. I don't think with Flacco they're putting up 20. So the turnovers, not being able to play field position, would kill them in my opinion.
I have a quick fantasy question for you when it comes down to a certain Rams player.
Okay.
Not Cooper Kupp, Puka Nacua. Obviously, breakout start to the season. He's been quiet.
He has.
He's been quiet. What are your thoughts on him going forward? Like, if you give highs and lows. I know a lot of leagues probably had their trade deadline already, but would you trade for him? Is he going to be a playoff game winner, championship game winner? For me personally, I'm not a huge fan of Puka. I mean, yeah, he had a great start because nobody knew about him. And, like, even last week, Cooper Kupp was a decoy.
Yeah,
And
the whole
Puka
game.
still didn't have a big game. And he still didn't have a big game.
No.
So, yeah, that's my thoughts on Puka. I know he's an interesting guy for fantasy owners out there, so I just want to see what you think about that a little bit.
I got offered. Me and Jerry have been talking trades all year, and he has Puka obviously in our league. I mean, when Cup wasn't there, I was like, this guy is gonna be the other guy for the Rams. Like, this is good, but and he's not even a bad receiver. He's just like not getting open. Is it? Is he's not getting open? Like, I don't know. There's a lot of guys on that Rams offense. They're a big like star scrub team. And for a team that is 5-6 right now, they're in the hunt. I think they lose this week. I mean, I don't think that they're gonna be competing toward like the end of the playoffs, like fantasy playoffs. So I dislike Nakua. I don't like his volume going forward either because Cup was a decoy. He was banged up. Like, they're gonna give Cup his targets, especially, and if they do compete, they're definitely gonna give Cup his targets. So
Yes, you have to.
if he's got 3 touchdowns on the year, it's like no touchdown for Puka. If he doesn't catch 8 balls, like, he's really not benefiting you that much. He's not a big play receiver either. He's more of like he'll eat up the catches, he'll get you the first down, so he'll move the chain. So I dislike Nakua. Obviously, it matters who your receiving core is. I'd put him at a very high end, like a medium flex. Like if you had to flex him, I'd flex him.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty much it. Otherwise, he's bench depth for me, personally.
Yeah, I completely agree. All right. Is there any other games you want to go more into? Or just want to give our quick picks, quick thoughts on the other ones?
We'll just give our quick picks, couple sum ups for the rest of these games. So we got Colts Titans at 1.
See, when I was such a shitty game. It's such like the line is Colts -1, but like they're just average at best.
Oh my
like,
god!
And it's crazy because the Colts are in the playoffs right now.
They didn't lose a game in November. They didn't lose a game.
Derrick Henry just isn't what he is anymore.
And even if he was, they're all over him. There's nobody else there to even threaten.
Yeah,
Derrick Henry can't score 3 touchdowns by himself and 300 yards. You need a quarterback.
Dude, he's 4th in rushing attempts, and the production just isn't where it should be for him. And it makes sense. I mean, for 5 years, they abused him, like literally abused him.
And that is the blueprint for how to run a running back into the ground and not have him be your franchise running back anymore.
Yeah, and I understand he could do crazy things with the ball, but a man's body can only take so much.
You almost rather have like 12 fresh Derrick Henry carries than like 24 bruised Derrick Henry carries. Like, if they had even, but they don't have that option because they are the Tennessee Titans and that's the football they play, and it's losing football. It really is.
Yeah, and he's slow as shit this year.
He doesn't have the juice no more, man. He doesn't got the juice no more.
He's out of the prime.
He played. Yeah, he had his prime. He was a great.
He was super fun to watch. I had him in fantasy for 2 years. Dude blessed me 1 year. But yeah, I'm taking the Titans in this one.
I'm taking the Titans too. They are Vrabel as an underdog is he's got a very good track record as an underdog.
And they're home.
And they're home.
And I like Will Levis.
Hard to bet against that Minshew-led Colts right now. Imagine if they had AR, man, like that'd be an offense. He was on my fantasy team too.
No Jonathan Taylor, remember that.
There was no Jonathan Taylor this week. Yeah. I like the Titans with or without him. So, if you got anything else on that one, Chargers, Patriots.
Nope, we can move on.
Even better game.
It's dude. I think the Chargers blow them out. Honestly, the Patriots are just terrible.
They're awful. They got nothing. They got Herbert.
They have nobody on offense.
Herbert needs a masterclass here. His name is getting thrown through the mud. I really can't find the blame on Herbert. I can't. I still can't.
For Herbert's sake, I hope he gets traded. I mean, Brandon Staley is gone. Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't fire him after Sunday night.
What part of that team is bad? Like they're good. They got a good roster.
That's what doesn't make sense to me. Like, yeah, you had Mike Williams go down. Yeah, you had Josh Palmer, and Joey Bosa's dealing with something. Beginning of the season, you had everybody healthy.
Yeah, everybody. I mean, Mike Williams went down pretty early, but like whatever. Like you're good. You're fine. I mean, Josh Palmer is not a big downgrade from Mike Williams or Quentin Johnson, your first rounder that you drafted this year, coming in too. You see... Patriots
Dude,
money line. Patriots went
you're
outright.
taking the Patriots money line.
Yeah, I am.
You're
I
dude.
I am.
Wow.
Brandon Staley. Brandon Staley. This is the game. This is the game where they realize, honestly, he's not even worthy of a coordinator job. He's not.
Yeah, dude. It's.
He was a defensive
I mean, like
coordinator, if
I'm.
I'm correct, right? If I'm not mistaken, he was a defensive coordinator for the Rams.
I think you're right.
And that defense, with the corners are all right. Derwin James is one of the best safeties in the league every year. And that pass rush isn't bad. The linebacker core is a little weak, but not every team's going to be the Eagles. Not every team has everybody.
Exactly.
And 4-7 for this team is embarrassing, unacceptable. I like the Patriots.
This could be a classic Belichick win.
That's what I'm saying. He's still going for that win record.
He's getting
man.
a lot of shit right now. Because how they're playing, but 1:00 in New England.
Will I watch this game? No.
Absolutely not. The only reason I'm watching this game is because I have Justin Herbert. But other than that, I'm not. Yeah. I don't really give two shits.
Yeah, I like Patriots.
Yeah, I don't mind the take, honestly. Also, one more thing about Brandon Staley. Could you keep Eckler in the game more? He's your best player in offense, and you just don't play him as much.
You think that?
Dude, maybe
Austin Eckler this year.
Herbert's a beast.
I think the wheels are kind of falling off Austin Eckler a little bit. He looks slow. He doesn't look like he's getting in and out of his cuts as fast. He's obviously still great running back, great receiving threat.
Still Austin Eckler. I just think that's more what I was trying to say. Is
they need to use him more as a threat in the receiving game. I feel like why don't they line him out wide? The Lions do it all the time where they'll just put Gibbs in the slot. Even if he doesn't even get the ball, or if he just chips and runs a little drag. I think that is better than just sitting in shotgun, ruling him on a little out route, and then having Herbert. It's just an extension of the run game at that point. You're just flipping it out. It's just a toss, just a delayed toss.
Yeah. All right. I think we talked way too much for this game. It's going to absolutely suck.
Way too much.
So let's way too much. All right. So we got Falcons at the Jets. 1:00.
Jesus Christ!
Atlanta is favored by 3.
Who made the fucking schedule this week? I like the Jets.
I'm taking the Falcons.
I like the Jets. Dude, no, I don't like the Jets. I forgot.
Yeah, dude, it's
that.
You're not winning a football game with Tim Pool.
I said I like the Jets. I said I like the Jets, and I looked myself in the eyes, and I was like, "What are you doing? I like the Jets." Falcons.
Dude, if the Jets win this, the Jets win this game, you guys proved this wrong. I could give 2 fucks.
Falcons probably win this one. 15-10. Sure. They kick 5 field goals.
Yeah,
the Jets score a touchdown. Breece Hall gets a nice touchdown. How about that?
Yeah, look, the Falcons aren't good either. NFC South just sucks. That's enough for that game because I can't talk.
Stunt on him, B-John. We're getting deep on time here. We're getting deep on time here.
Yeah, we only have a few games left.
No. We're wrapping it up.
Yeah. Easy, quick pick game. Dolphins at Commanders. Commanders suck.
Yeah,
I think they covered 9.5.
9.5 too. Take it to the house. Yeah.
Panthers, Bucks. Frank Wright gone.
Frank Wright
gone. If you want to chime in here, you're more than welcome to.
Deuce Staley was the Lions running back coach last year, and he went to Carolina because his mom got sick, and it was closer for him, so he got a job offer there. Blah blah blah. He was awful this year. Everybody on the Panthers was awful this year. Reich's gone. Tepper's a mess. Tepper, Fitterer, whole top of the chain. Chain is gone. Panthers need a reset and everything. The Bucks, though, they'll win this game. The Bucks, but I'm concerned.
Yeah, this is a game the Bucks will squeak out.
I'm concerned for the Bucks on a lot of levels of if they want to win the division because they haven't
which they can,
which they very well can. So can the Panthers. Actually, if the Panthers win this game, they're not even that far out of winning the division either.
What is it 4 games?
If they won this game and the Falcons lost, they'd be 3 games out. I think, and the Saints, they'd be 3 games out. So it's
Hey,
there's season left, man.
Carolina fans, you have something. You might not have a first-round pick, but you might have the playoffs.
Yep. What? Yeah, fuck first round pick. Win this game, win the division. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm
I
taking.
like Bucks. Panther season's over. Interim head coach boost though.
Um,
Interim head coach gives you +5
nice,
attributes every week, no matter
nice.
what. Do you know if they named an
Cardinals.
interim for the Panthers by chance?
I'm not totally sure.
I hope they
Does our
hire
producer want to
Caldwell
chime in?
if they don't. Does our producer want to chime in? They got a hire yet? You can send me a message if you need.
Chris Tabor, special teams coordinator.
Oh, okay.
Gotcha. I appreciate it. All right.
Yeah, they still
Next
suck.
game.
They still
Yeah,
fucking
they
suck.
fucking blow. And they have no future either. Alright.
I feel so bad for Bryce Young.
Oh, dude, me too.
Cardinals,
Cardinals at
Steelers?
Steelers. 1 o'clock. Steelers 5.5.
Cardinals
I'm
all
taking
day.
Pittsburgh.
Cardinals all day. Cardinals all day. Kyler Murray's playing for a job. They don't have the firepower of the Steelers. I don't care if they're home. I don't care. This game sucks. 2-10 for 7-4, but I'm heated up here. Kyler Murray, man, he's playing out of his job. He's going to play themselves out of that pick. They're going to win this game. They're going to get the 3 wins. And they won't be able to get Caleb Williams. I don't even want to talk about. Well, next episode we're gonna have a Caleb Williams talk, me and you, because there's a lot I have to say about him. This is a little late for it.
I have some words. I have some words on him.
We'll talk about that one after the college football this week. I'm gonna take the Cardinals. I like the Cardinals this one.
Yeah. I will say the Cardinals are better than what the record shows. I've watched a good amount of Cardinals football this year. I like Marquise Brown a little bit. Trey McBride is growing him to a good tight end.
What a find.
Defense sucks.
Yeah.
Defense kind of sucks. I mean,
yeah.
Do I really give a shit who wins this game? Not really.
It's not like the Steelers' offense is good either.
No, the Steelers' offense is terrible, but the Steelers' defense is just super good.
Really like the over.
And I mean, Nash. What is it?
41.5. That might be one of my best bets of the week.
I don't hate it. Is that going to be the lock of the weekend?
That's going to be mine if you want to pick yours. That's my lock of the weekend, actually, right there. Is the over in the Cardinals-Steelers game at 41.5. I'd play that up to 44.5. Right. I think there'll be points in this one. I think that didn't the Steelers get 400 yards on offense last week?
Yeah, for the first time since Matt Canada's gone.
Give me that over. Full day.
All right. I don't hate it. All right, so we got almost through every game.
We
still have the Sunday Night Football and Monday Night Football. Chiefs at Packers. Kansas City's favored by 6.5 points. Packers fans, you guys can celebrate. You guys had a win against an embarrassing Lions team on Thanksgiving.
Yep.
But when the clock hits 8:19, you can stop celebrating because Mahomes is going to destroy you. I just don't really see a league now where Jordan Love outplays Patrick Mahomes. Yes, the Chiefs have a dropping problem with the wide receivers. I still like the Chiefs to cover.
I saw something last week when I was watching the 4 o'clock games. The Chiefs immediately went down 14-0 to the Raiders last week, and they blew them the fuck out. We're getting to that point in the season where these playoff teams are starting to get into playoff gear. And when you have guys like Patrick Mahomes, who's obviously been in the playoffs, these are times where they're going to need to find the stride. And I think this dropping problem is going to end this week. Maybe not end, but like limit this week.
It's gonna calm down.
I think it has to.
And plus,
I think they cover the 6.
Yeah, easily. And plus, all these guys in Mahomes' wide receiver room, they all have tremendous respect for Mahomes. So every time they drop a ball, you're letting down your face of the franchise, the face of the league right now. So a lot of Mahomes expects a lot. Receivers have to live that potential. I take Chiefs, pretty much a blowout. Think they cover 6.5.
I want to talk about Travis Kelce for a second, though. He's been seeing a lot of doubles. I don't know if you saw in the Eagles game. They were bracketing that man all game, and it's actually been effective for a lot of teams to take the double on Kelce and just let the receivers try and beat you. I think that the Packers are going to try to do that, and then this game is the one where Andy Reid and the Chiefs are going to be like, all right, enough of this. We'll just take the top off on you, and they'll run. I mean, Scantling, Scantling in that Eagles game, he was wide open. He was wide open. That's half the half the battle is getting wide open like that. If your guy can get wide open like that, like you, that
And Mahomes ain't missing.
and Mahomes, we know Mahomes isn't missing on that. Like, so I think that we'll see some deep shots in this one. That's I like the Chiefs with the 6. If you have anything else on this one.
One more thing. You know, this is a little bit more of a fantasy thing. Every year when you go in the drafts, I always think to myself, is this the year where the Kelsey tight end year is going to be it? Like, his production's going to go down. And I think this might be the start of it.
I think this is definitely the start.
I think he's 33, 32. I think anybody who drafted him in the first round is crazy. I thought it was a dumb move then. I know it's a dumb move now. Yeah, but we're starting to see the decline of a Hall of Fame tight end, and it's been fun watching him. But
yeah, legends never die though. Legends never die.
Legends never die. 2 Super Bowls, nothing more you could ask for.
Maybe the Kelsey
Great
bros hop on the podcast real quick.
Dude, I love a conversation with Jason Kelsey.
So what do you really see when you do that touch push? What are you really seeing down there? That's the first thing I'd ask.
So
what are you really seeing?
How far is Jalen Hurts' hands up your ass? Like, that has to get pretty far to get that ball quickly. All right.
Oh.
Last game of the week, Monday Night Football.
And it's a miserable
Jags,
one.
Bengals.
That's a miserable one.
Yeah, bad colorway game too. Bad colorway game.
That's a good good point. This is awful. This is not going to look good on my TV. Jacksonville with the 8 is just too many points. I'm going to take the Bengals with the 8.
I don't mind that. I don't hate Jake Browning. I don't love him. I don't hate him. He's been in the league for a while, experienced quarterback. Jags are just a better team, and I'm taking the Jags. I think the Bengals can still cover. I mean, Browning just could chase the ball. You get your playmakers the ball, and that could.
Yeah, I mean they have the guys. They have wideouts on that roster. They can easily.
Yeah.
But the thing is that the Jaguars and Lawrence, they've been shaky at home this year. They've been it seems like they've been a much better team on the road. And as I'm looking at this, they've had 9 points at home, 17, 23 against the Falcons. They stuck one out against the Bills at 25-20. They had the Colts. They blew them out. And then at home, they put up 3 points against the Niners. They blew out the Titans, obviously. And then they finished with the Bengals, then they get the Ravens, and the Panthers come into town. They just haven't been that good at home, and I think that the 8's a lot there. I just think it's a lot in this spot. For a game that the total is very low for, too.
Yeah. But, yeah, I mean, Calvin Ridley's coming into himself a little bit more. Had 2 good back-to-back games.
And you're still going to start him this week, correct?
Of course. I mean, did you see my lineup this week?
Oh, is this the business? Oh, this is the week.
Dude, take a look. I mean, if we could share this to the screen, we can. Let me put it this way: it is the worst fantasy football lineup I think you could ever have in a 10-man league. I don't even have a running back in right now. My starting running back this week is Najee Harris. I'm waiting for the waivers to go through tonight so that I hopefully get Zach Charbonnet. My starting tight ends, Pat Freiermuth. Calvin Ridley starting.
Spin as Noah Brown and wideout. Spin as Noah Brown and wideout too. Jahan Dotson in the flex.
It's
what's the point of having the Denver defense on your roster?
Dude, Acar, if you're watching this and if I beat you this week, I just don't know what to say.
Acar, if you get beat by this team, this should be a punishment in itself. There should be a punishment in itself for losing to this team. What are you projected? 85 with a back?
I mean, I have Herbert.
We get Charbonnet. By the time this podcast releases, you probably will have Charbonnet if it releases tomorrow.
Probably won't, to be honest. I'm not high up in waivers. I probably won't get him. And I'm going to be screwed more. Yeah, that's my fantasy team sucks. All right, that's all I can say. It's depressing.
Yeah.
So unless you have nothing else to add, I thought it was a great first show.
I think it was a great first show as well. We're gonna have more shit planned. This was like the free trial. because we literally just set up
Yeah,
all this
exactly.
shit like an hour, or oh my god, it's 11 o'clock now. Jesus Christ.
Oh my god.
So like 5 hours
Sorry,
ago
Collins.
now.
That's gonna suck at it.
Well, yeah, I mean, fuck. Yeah, we'll have games, activities, shit like that. There'll be more. This is just
Yeah.
a start. We just wanted to get something out. So,
Exactly.
I mean,
I would hope we want to plan something either for next Tuesday or Wednesday.
I'd like to get one
After
out after the Monday night game. If you want to do one after like
I would
Monday
love
night,
that.
after the Monday or Tuesday, I'd be with that. So
I could see doing a Monday night game. Doing it Monday night. We could start it at halftime.
we could, yeah, for sure. Because after that, the game that I know is on Monday night fucking sucks.
Yeah.
So
Definitely want to get something out for the Selection Sunday. But yeah, I mean, we don't know how many people will be watching this or who will be watching this, but we want to thank you guys for tuning in for the first time.
of course,
We had a lot of fun doing it.
and we will
You
continue.
can check us out on TikTok at the Bird's Nest, and on Twitter when it gets set up, it should be at the Bird's Nest
By the
too.
time this releases, it'll
you-
probably be out there. It might be a different handle though, low
yeah.
key.
Yeah. We'll drop the handles when we get them.
You'll see us. You'll
on-
see us. You'll see us somewhere.
You'll see us.
Maybe a gas station.
You
but
can
somewhere.
follow me. Yep, you can follow me on Instagram at Drew Golden with
Bro's
2 N's at
plugging.
the
Bro's
end.
fucking plugging.
You can follow me on X at Drew Golden. We'll be up in the Twitter content. You can share your socials too.
I don't remember them.
All right.
I mean, if you want to follow my
Um,
Instagram, it's my name, but I don't post shit.
Yeah, I mean I don't post it either, but
Yeah,
still-
I'll
still
get you
give
guys
us
the
a follow.
I'll get you guys the Twitter in the next one. I forget what the handle is.
Yeah, I just kind of yeah, but
I had a lot of fun
Yeah,
though. I had a
so-
lot of fun doing this one. So
it was a great time.
just under 2
Thank
hours.
you guys for watching.
Yeah, we'll try to keep them shorter next time. But there was a lot to talk about this week, and we didn't really know about the
Yeah.
pacing. So
Yeah, we went through a lot of college football and a lot of NFL.
yeah, we'll have
I'm
more
happy
structure.
with what we talked about.
Yeah, we'll have more
Exactly.
structure
We all
coming.
yeah.
And
Yep. All right.
I'm good.
Anything else?
Okay.
Appreciate it.
All right.
Everybody.
Peace.
Yep.
Have a good one. All right.
a
Merry
good night, guys.
Christmas and Thanksgiving. Fuck it.